Hello everyone, and welcome to the deck review for my latest one is Messages from Your Animal Friends Oracle, written and illustrated by Laura Byrne. And this ended up being like my favorite card, so I put that on the cover. And the idea behind this was I like 80s retro music and stuff like that, 80s new wave. Besides everything, I listen to everything. So I decided to put a little bit of the 80s stuff on the cover. And then on the back, if you see, those are a couple of the cards. We have Positive Outcome, Archangel Ariel, Rest, and Food and Water. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about this deck. The messages in these cards are taken from my own experiences with animals that I have owned or worked with as a dog walker for over 5 years. I have been through lots of funny situations with animals and not knowing how to handle it. I reached out to my angels and guides and they provided the answers. I currently have 2 guinea pigs and 2 cats. Other animals that I have had throughout my lifetime are various dogs and fish as well. I've always had a fondness with animals and a deeper connection to them. It was not until later in life that I started to broaden this connection and work with people through readings and energy work to understand their animal friends. So this is my deck review. Now, it did have a plastic cover over it, but I took that off. And since I got these myself, the cover is a little bit thinner, but still good. And here's my other, this was gonna be the cover initially, but then this one kind of won out. Here's the booklet, the back of the card deck. So let's kind of look through the booklet together. On the inside here, it talks about using the deck and how to do like an opening prayer. And then I did like 2 5-card spreads. So 5-card problem solving spread, 5-card general pet spread. And these really help people to kind of hone in what's going on with their animals. And you may get cards that resonate for you as well. So you're pulling cards for yourself and your animals. And then on the inside here, I'm not going to go through each page, but if you see, it has the pet message and then a general message. So each one of the cards have these. Pet message, general message. And then on the back, and we have a closing prayer at the end that talks about Archangel Michael grounding after you're done with the reading. I do have a disclaimer. So this here just states that, I'll just read that to you guys, okay? This pet deck is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a pet doctor or counselor. The messages in these cards are taken from my own experiences with animals that I have owned or worked with. And then that kind of talks about like the same thing that was on the back here. And here it has me. This is one of this picture. I was like, I should have worn makeup or something, but I was in my natural habitat. If you look there, this is my kitty DJ, and that is Sir Chomps-a-Lot. Laura has been working with animals for over 10 years now, and every day there is always something new to learn, and that is so true. She also does various other types of readings for people, including Akashic Records, angel readings, angel energy work, and intuitive art. This was so much fun to do. It took me, people have asked me, how long does a card deck take to make? It depends on your commitment to it. I noticed that I'm getting faster and faster because I'm already on affirmation deck that I'm making with my graphic designer. So every card has this back, and this is something that I made. And now let's kind of just go through the cards a little bit. The first one we have happy. I'll just put this here. So we'll just kind of look at the cards a little bit, see what they say. Love, health, connect with the angels. And here's the cover card, music, crown, self-worth. My son did this one. He wanted to contribute. So this one has Alpha, Archangel Chamuel. So I have some archangels in here. Solar plexus. Now these are the energy centers. You're going to see these chakra cards in here, and they're the energy centers in the animal's body. And what I discovered is, yeah, they could be in different places, but they all kind of work with similar things. Stability, we got a little turtle, sacral, walker. Now this one came up in a reading for my cat that we were actually trying to get the kitty to go outside a little bit on a leash, so that it was a leash that was made for cats. And because we didn't want him running off, because he was, we got him from someone where he kind of lived in the wild. So we were a little bit afraid. We're like, okay, we want him to go outside. So we got this card for him. Throat, smells and sounds. Because sometimes animals are so sensitive to all those things. And we have a bunny, confused. Do you see me? Third eye. Telepathy. I meant to do 2 horse cards, but I just ended up doing 1. Human empath. And that guy kind of looks like Jesus in there. Moving and change. Clean area. Now this one, I thought it was cute, but it's like it clearly says what you need to do. Sometimes we forget to clean our animals, you know, where they go to the bathroom a lot. And that's just a reminder. Here's my Ariel card. Positive outcome. She has a lot of animals in the background. Piggies, mice, snake, birds, mouse, family. So we have fishes in the background, kitty, bird, and a dog. And this is, I do have yes and no cards in here. This one has a chakra card with it too. So we have yes and heart. So that's the heart area. And I like unicorns in that. So I figured, you know what? Let's do something kind of playful. We'll put a unicorn in there. A guinea pig, water and food. And here's our mice, balance. Here's Archangel Michael. So about this card, I was like, I wanted to add Michael in there, and he's like, put me in there as a kid. So he's by a bunch of bunnies. Playtime. Protective shield. I feel what you feel. There's a bear or different types of animals. Wild pets. So we have like a squirrel, a ducky, a bat, a bear. I know I've had lots of experiences with wild animals where they just keep coming around and hanging around the house and things like that. Mirror. So if you look here, the owner is sick, and then all of a sudden, wow, the pet's sick too. This one is a funny card. I've experienced this as my time doing dog walking. There's harness and leash. I've had dogs where they're just like, I'm ready to walk, and they run off, and you're like, woo! But it's always fun, though. Connect with the elementals. I made this card because, you know, sometimes people say, well, you know, everything has an angel that looks after it. Oftentimes animals have elemental type of beings, or, you know, and then angels that oversee it and things like that. It just depends, you know. People have different belief systems also. This one I like a lot. Don't let me go. Human chakra tune-up. Sometimes we're so out of whack that we knock our animals out. So this is about getting back into balance, taking care of ourselves. Instinct, Law of attraction. I like this one a lot. You see the little cloud, and then the person's just having a bad day in general, and it's kind of spreading to the animal as well. Aura cleansing. Sometimes the animals take on, you know, too much of our feelings, things happening in the environment, and they need a bath, or they need some type of detox or cleansing. Or, you know, like sometimes it's about changing their food as well. The next card we have is Odd. And this one is kind of from my own experience I've had, where I was sleeping, the cat jumped up and just stuck his claws in my chest, and I was like, what the heck was that for? And then I had to do a reading on it and figure out what was going on. But it was like he was afraid, and he just jumped up and did that, you know. So then once I understood what was going on, I was able to help him solve the problem. Upset. And this one is funny because if you look at the kitty, I was thinking of like a volcano erupting. So we're having like smoke coming out of the ears, something on the top too. And here's the other card. We saw yes, and now this one is a no. And this one is, I like dragons. So I was like, you know what? Let's put a little dragon on there as a no card. Now this one could be, you know, sometimes when an animal is sick, it could be various things. So I just put on here flea, food, contact, airborne, and allergies. Now the other card, imitation. This one is good. Alternative. And this one is sometimes about finding a holistic veterinarian or a doctor, you know, someone that it has a little bit, who is a little bit more open to different perspectives and things like that. Other things to try. Not saying anything about veterinarians in general, but this is sometimes it's like when you tried everything you could, you may be looking into like a more holistic approach. Afraid. This one is one of my favorite cards because the little turtle is hiding in the shell. Now this one, I've experienced this myself and from people taking care of their animals. Sometimes you just feel like you want to pull your hair out when the animal isn't listening, or you guys aren't on the same page. You don't understand each other. And that card talks about how to work through it. Now we have the card jealousy. And I see this a lot too. Sometimes I've been out working with animals and one is jealous of the other and then not letting them have food and things like that. A little bit of bullying going on. Now this one is so cute. I love this card. We need downtime. So again, some of this stuff is about the owner too. That whatever's happening with the owner often affects the pet, and if the owner is very busy, then the pet needs it too. Now the last card we have in here is patience. And you know, turtles are very connected with taking our time and slowing down. Okay, so let's pull some cards and just kind of see how they work. I'm going to knock on the cards to clear the energy, and we're just going to shuffle it and say, what do I need to know right now? What are the people watching need to know about their fur babies? And I heard one from the bottom, one from the top. So we have the cards, Don't Let Me Go, and Connect with the Elementals. Sometimes this is about connecting with the sensitive nature of your pet. And the Don't Let Me Go, you know, a lot of times animals they just want to be around their owners all the time. They just want to go everywhere with them. Sometimes for smaller pets where you can carry them around, if you stop, all of a sudden you stop carrying them around, they'll be like, hey, what happened? Do you still love me? So that's what's going on there. And now I'm going to go to the meaning of the cards as well. So you see, first I did it intuitively. I kind of saw, what do the angels want to say? And then we have the card, Come Back, Harness, and Leash. So sometimes this is about looking at what you're using on your pet or their toys or things like that and seeing, okay, do they not like it anymore? What's happening? How can I make this better for them? So first we'll start with Don't Let Me Go. And I'm going to have these cards on my Etsy shop and other places on my website. So let's go to the meaning of this card. Don't let me go. Let me bring the card up here while I give you guys the meaning. Pet message. If you're thinking about giving me away to someone, think again, please. I'm not going anywhere, and I will keep coming back to you. We have a special bond, and I don't want to start over with anyone else. Please consider keeping me around. I love you and want to be in your life. Now, the general message is if your animal senses that you are going to give them away or put them in the hands of a caretaker temporarily, he or she doesn't want it. Find a way to comfort them and ensure that no matter what is going to happen, they will be safe. Sometimes this card can relate to an animal that is going to pass over. They want to stay with you and will do so as much as they can after they have passed. So it has a couple of different meanings there. And of course, you know, take what fits for you. Use it for your situation, okay? Sometimes you'll get a card and you'll just be, oh, I know exactly what this means. So it may mean something different from what you pulled. Now let's go to this one. And we have harness and leash. And this is the pet message. And it says, I do not like this harness, leash, or other equipment used on me. It's uncomfortable. Please find an alternative. I will try to behave better for you, but teach me how to respond in appropriate ways that will work for both of us. This is so I don't have to use such strict harnesses or equipment. Have patience with me and don't rush my training. Sometimes this is for beginner dogs, and you know, like when you first get your pet, or it could relate to other things during the walk. They see things they don't like, things like that. They get triggered. General message. Make sure that you are placing the equipment on properly. Anticipate ways to help your animals emotionally cope with and utilize the equipment in a safe way. If you have a pet like a dog and they are refusing their harness, let them wear it for several days so they get used to it. Use rewards for good behavior. Now, the last card we have is Connect with the Elementals. Let's see what this one has to say. Let me go ahead and go there. Pet message. I want to be out in Mother Nature. I want to get out of my inside environment periodically. Let's be in nature together and connect with all the natural elements of our world. General message. Animals are very connected to the elementals as they are often their guardian angels along with the angelic beings. These beings, like angels, can help pets to be heard and taken care of. This message is also for the owner that they may be very connected to nature spirits and their environment. If your pet is getting in trouble and making mischief, the fairies may be involved in communicating to you that there is a problem. You need to pay attention and act accordingly to solve the issue. They help humans and warn them about things going on with their animals. And again, you know, not everybody is connected with this. Most of the people that I know, they love angels, they believe in angels, but when it comes to these types of beings, they have a hard time wrapping their head around it. So it just takes patience, and there's lots of different books that you can get to kind of read about these beings. There's a book called, I think it's called The Real World of the Fairies by Dora Van Gelder. I hope I'm saying the name right. But she kind of talks about it in ways where, you know, people think of them as being like superficial beings, but really they take care of the earth and the planet, you know, and things like that. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and stop here. And to order the deck, I'll put it in the link below. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to be having some on my website and some on my Game Crafter site too. This is a deck that is a labor of love, and I felt like, you know what, instead of, people know me much more for Akashic Records and angel readings, but I've been reading for pets for years. It's not anything new or different. Okay, guys, take care.